at and I said, well, you know, I kept on giving him every opportunity to explain to me that I was hiring an attorney, but he never did. And I said, well, do I get to keep a copy after I sign? He said, no. And I asked, well, what if I want to follow up? He said, your name's in a computer, you just call this number. You just wait for a check, basically. And a lot of people fell victim to this and other kinds of schemes. I know for a fact that in the Plaintiffs' Steering Committee, currently the litigation going on in the South, some of those attorneys fraudulently represented to the court that they had, you know, X amount, 40,000, 50,000 clients throughout the region when they were just working off lists. And the impact of that is that when these individuals file for claims in the Gulf Coast Claims Facility, the claims facility will say to them, your claim number is associated with an attorney, you have representation, please go speak to your attorney. And they have no idea who their attorney is. And they have to go around, and so I've been helping these people trying to dig out who their attorney on record is, trying to get them off the case. And oftentimes, even though we're able to get them off the case, whatever amount of damages they're entitled to is subject to an attorney's lien. And the lien is basically, you know, the one-step process of turning in their tax documents instead of directly to the claims facility, going through the attorney putting their name on it and turning it in, and then they get the 20% or whatever fee that they decide to take. And that is a reality in the Gulf right now. Just listening to what little I've heard from this meeting, I know that the language access is a big issue for this committee. I would just submit or point out that it's important to realize, at least in the Vietnamese community, that there are different types of language. Vietnamese spoken in Vietnam today is not the same as Vietnamese spoken in the Vietnamese community in America. After the war, you know, the communists took over, and they're from the country, and they evolved the language in a very different way. And so even in the aftermath of the oil spill, when hiring Vietnamese fishing vessels to go skim the water for oil, they hired translators from Vietnam. They used terms that reminded the Vietnamese immigrants in America of living in refugee camps, or not, sorry, re-education camps after the war in Vietnam, using terminology that offended them, and they were very upset and just didn't want to participate in the training. The documents that have been translated in Vietnamese that I've read, I can hardly understand because I'm fluent, but it's using a terminology of Vietnamese inside Vietnam that doesn't really correlate to what's spoken in America and overseas. And I guess as a final thought, I would just say that my thinking on language access is that we need to shift focus or maybe create an additional focus on encouraging young AAPIs to maintain their ancestral language, maintain their cultural heritage. Because if we're going to serve these communities and we continue to get these translations from overseas, we're doing a disservice to the community. And it's the kids that grow up in these communities that best understand the needs and the services and the terminology and how to relate, and they already have the in. So, you know, all this focus on the campaign trail about, you know, making English a national language and all that, I'm totally against that. We need to somehow have a new kind of campaign where to encourage young minorities to learn English but also maintain their rich cultural heritage so they can continue contributing to that rich tapestry that is America.